There we go. I see myself. Good afternoon, fellow Misfits. It's always fun working with technology. Welcome to the Misfit Monday Debrief. Today's October the 9th, in the wonderful year of 2023, as interesting as it's been. And we're here at the not-so-round table, ready to just kind of sit and chat about everything that's going on. So go ahead and I've got all the moderating stuff set up, able to watch and able to look. So go ahead and just pop in the comments if you're watching, say a little hello, heckle me if you really feel so inclined, or as I would have asked for, just go ahead and let us know how your week's gone. I can tell you, last week, as we'll cover a little bit of, was pretty crazy for us. I think the wonderful thing about the colder weather is that you, the people, are craving coffee, and we've definitely seen that with people just really starting to come out more and more. People that have heard about us before, people who are just introducing family. If you notice, I'm actually just a little bit, yes, I am a doofus. Sup, Phil? Or as I like to call him, Dumbbell. Inside joke that you can learn if you come on in. We'll happily explain it to you, and we'll tell you why he calls me Speed Bump. Now you can see we're tuning in just a little bit later this morning, than by about 13 minutes or so. While all y'all are filtering in, I'll go ahead and let you know why. We've had quite a few people coming in and out this morning. Met a wonderful lady by the name of Kim, and she'd been referenced to coming in out here. Served in the Navy for quite a few years. She does a lot of just work all over the place. She's when it comes to running numbers, apparently seems to be her thing. She'd been recommending coffee, and she's coming from Italy. It was where she had just been. She'd been out there for, serving a couple times and, out there getting true coffee. Came in, obviously had to let her try the Sulawesi. Loved that. So we were just talking coffee and just kind of running through all that. She was real happy to be here. I was happy to just have someone come in and give that straight answer from what they're used to drinking in Italy. So that was pretty cool. So now that we've got all that buttoned up, thank you, Kim, by the way. If you're watching, hope you are. Thank you for coming on in. We're looking forward to getting you more coffee. I, unfortunately, am out of coffee, sin as it is, I know, because I'm holding off for a couple of y'all to get in so we can discuss what we're going to be discussing today, which is all things French presses. Yes, the high octave was necessary. But not exactly these kinds of French presses. I'll be using one this morning just to kind of show y'all what that looks like. But then I'm going to show you what us Misfits prefer in terms of French presses, which will take you to our partnership and all that. But for now, just waiting for y'all to come in. Hurry up and say something cool. All right, something cool. There you go. We always keep you the people happy. Love you too, Nick. All right. Well, looks like y'all are rolling on in. Man, yeah, gonna need a survival check. Alright, right before we jump into this, because we got just 2 more minutes or so to let y'all filter in, let y'all in on a little bit of the life of some Misfits. So I started playing in my first D&D campaign this weekend, and got to experience all that is the joy of rolling dice while highly caffeinated. And it was, honestly, it was pretty fantastic. It's just the kind of game. Actually, you can see Phil in there. He's running his first campaign, and phenomenal job. But that's neither here nor there. You come on in and ask. We'll sit and chat about it. I'll tell you what. You come in and ask. We'll have a cup of coffee on me, and we'll just sit and talk about all that experience was. But as I hear the vibrations of this electric kettle going, let's go ahead and get into today. So, as we told y'all from the start, the Misfit Monday Debrief is to let you know, as a good debrief would, what all went on. So for us, it's what went on throughout the last week. So, kind of covering that first, I know y'all probably saw, and yes, I'm holding off on the partnership statement for a reason. Y'all bear with me. Y'all may have seen us put up on the Facebook page, Next Level Nutrition. So we met with them a couple weeks ago. Larry out there, he's got a passion for fitness. He understands not just the lifting side, but he's really looking into getting, having healthy things going into your body while you're working out. So I got to go out and meet with him by reference of a friend of ours, another fellow Misfit. Shout out to Dakota. Thank you for hooking us up with them as a contact. So we started talking with them, and they've been looking to do offering in their nutrition drinks and just have coffee in general. So now they're going to. So they've announced it. We've announced it. We should be delivering, I believe, this week their first batch of coffee to them. They're running through all the origins, guys. So they're doing from light to medium to dark. They're doing regular coffee. They're doing espresso. So this is where y'all, if you're out in Brownsville, where they're located, go on out to Next Level Nutrition. Get a drink from them, whether it's one of their coffee mixed drinks, whether it's just straight coffee. If you want to be able to say which coffee they're carrying, this is your time to shine. So go on out. They're out in Brownsville. Get out there. I had, what was it? I think it was a brownie protein shake I had out there. I hadn't eaten much that day. I needed some kind of meal replacement on the spot. It was phenomenal. He mixed it up. It was just a low carb, just cup of goodness. Not obviously not, as sacred as my cup of coffee, but it was absolutely delicious. So again, if you're out in Brownsville, Next Level Nutrition, you can get our coffee. You can get their wonderful assortment of protein drinks, fresh smoothie drinks, all the other just fixings that they have around the store. They've got protein bars, protein cookies, protein everything. And when you're not looking, they'll probably give you an extra scoop of protein. So Next Level Nutrition, we're excited to work with them. This Saturday here in Dyersburg, as many of y'all know if you live here, we've got the bicentennial coming up. So we will be downtown for that, obviously. It's, the farmers market was our start. We've come to love Dyersburg, just y'all and the area as a whole. You can really hear that northern, not southern drawl on that y'all, couldn't you? I could. Cried a little bit. So we'll be down there. I believe everything starts at 8. It goes from 8 to noon for the main market. But I know there's going to be a lot going on all weekend. It'll just be, in a time where everybody just seems so divided everywhere. I think it'll be a really fun time for the community to just get together and just enjoy the fact of how long everything's been going on down here. I know some of that is bittersweet. I was just talking to someone this morning down at the State Gazette about just what Dyersburg used to look like versus what it is now. And, there's always something bittersweet in there, but it's still cool just to see American pride and all running strong out here. So that'll be on Saturday. We'll be out there we'll be out there before 8. So if you need a cup of coffee, we know, Lord willing, this kind of colder spell is going to stay. That way we can stop having to bounce back and forth from jackets to not jackets. Come find us. Get yourself a cup of coffee to warm you up. Come and chat with us. We can all regale stories of all the fun we've had since we've been able to be with y'all out here. So that'll be on Saturday. And then I'd be remiss if I did not go ahead and once again bring it to y'all our Friends of the NRA affiliation that we have. So their banquet, again, running October 19th. We still have tickets. It's October 19th at 5:30 p.m. Again, $45 for a chair, $90 for a couple, $360 for a table of 8, which comes for a chance to win something else of the many firearms that you can already win. Again, we don't promote it for any crazy kind of reason other than they stand, specifically Friends of the NRA stands for what we stand for. It's firearms education for the family, and this is the way to help it with your kids. Again, all the people that we've met, real firm and heavy-hearted about it. They've seen a lot of success. They've got a lot of success stories, just of kids that have, from a young age, been able to understand the safety of firearms, so that, like anything else that is a valuable but more dangerous tool, you learn that it's not dangerous. You respect it and you're able to use it as a good tool. So come on into us and we can get you hooked up with those tickets while we've still got them. And last but not least, our new coffee bean origins will be shipping. So we got our email confirmation this morning. We've got quite a few new good things coming to you. Of course, you got to run through what we have, but thanks to y'all, that doesn't seem to be much of a problem, as Sulawesi is almost out of stock. That's probably one of the bigger ticket items. If this was one of those fancy YouTube channels, I'd point up here and you'd see, bing, and then it would say, click here to go order something. But I don't have that, so I'm just pointing to the sky and telling you that picture of Sulawesi button. You may want to come get some before it runs out, because it's man, with every cup of it I drink and enjoy, I cry a little bit knowing that we're closer to the end because we only got one sack of it. They sold out of it, understandably so, and so now here we are. But we've got a roast coming, a sack of beans coming in from Bali to replace them. It looks like it's pretty promising. And now that we've got the experience under our coffee mugs that we had with the Sulawesi along with the Sumatran, I think this one's gonna be a pretty hot seller. So yeah, Sulawesi's almost out. Alright, I'm gonna scroll back real quick and see what I've missed in the comments. There we go. Last briefing. More beans. Yep. See, y'all just gotta believe in me a little bit. Believe in the heart of the cards. But yeah, Sulawesi's just about out. I can't give you an exact weight, mainly because I just didn't weigh the beans that are left. But we've got a little bit. But judging by the rate that it's going, I'd come get some before it does go out. Don't worry, today I will be demonstrating French press with the El Salvadorian, mainly because I wanted to, but also to leave you the people with more Sulawesi. And so with that, we've got the Bali. Yeah, gotta love when you just space out in the middle of a sentence. We got the Bali roast origin coming in, to which we will roast. Got two different beans from Costa Rica. Now, I don't know how many of y'all remember our last and one of the first origins that we put out that was from Costa Rica. It was in a red bag. This one's not the more expensive price. This is your regular standard $16 for the bag, $17 for the pack of cartridges. But we got two. The flavor profiles looked so different. It looks like one's gonna go lighter, one's gonna go darker. But being as the Costa Rican was just so bold and deep last time, we're pretty excited. Yeah, Costa Rican is coming back. We're pretty excited to bring that one in. And then there goes Princess Magpul. Yes, the new Ugandan roast we have coming in. So this is the first time. I'm sure. I know we say it all the time, but I can't stress enough that the reason we jump roast to roast is not because we just like to kill off your favorite character in every TV show that you watch. It's because we like to give you the ability to try beans from all over the world without having to go all over the world. And you're not paying crazy prices to get it, and you're not waiting in crazy lines. We get them, we put them on the shelves. If you don't get to try it when it's there, you'll get it again because we just keep cycling through them. So, which I'm waiting to bring a Peruvian back, personally. But it's got to be one that's fitting to the red, white, and Peru. But yeah, so that the roast from Uganda, we're also pretty excited about it. Again, flavor profiles. It's just you see a lot of the same pairings when you find the profiles, but then you get certain fruity notes or certain nutty notes or something that jumps out. And between the two, really it was the two Costa Ricans and the Ugandan that just look just extra special. So we're pretty excited about that. So that's our new origins. That's our new Misfit businesses. Again, Next Level Nutrition. Come see us Saturday. And now we're going to go ahead and jump into some brewing. So I wanted to discuss French presses with y'all today. Why? Because this is where it all started for me. As the coffee sommelier here, as I have been dubbed, it's and I have a certificate on the wall to prove it. Come see it. Madge Hazard and Princess Magpul got that all drafted and certified for me, so it hangs. When I was first drinking coffee and getting into it and starting to drink more black coffee, it was for me. I just figured, okay, you get a nicer quality bean, and that's really all you got to worry about. Then I got to college, and a guy that I worked under, introduced me to the French press, and that was it. Once I started French pressing coffee, everything changed because I realized that you get such different flavors. Everything is much bolder. Everything is much more deep. Any new cups coming soon? Yes, and Nick, I will circle back to that once I get to more discussion on our partners, because we do actually potentially have some new cups coming soon. So while we make our way to there, I'll let you know that after I got in with the French press, it was game over. Like everything changed for me in terms of coffee. And I just kind of, even going through all my engineering career and everything, I would bring a French press around, and if anybody really wanted coffee, I'd give it out. Why? Because it's a lot better than getting something from a burnt pot, and nobody really wants that. So fast forward to now. So this is your typical traditional French press. Now, and as I'm sure you've heard us chirp about plenty, when you do French press, you want to have coarse grounds. Why? Because it's all coffee is a discussion of diffusion, the rate at which you're pulling molecules out of the coffee grounds. So the whole point of a French press setup is that you use larger, which are more coarse grounds, and you sit them in hot water and allow it to draw the flavor out slower because they're larger, as opposed to finer grounds, which you just zap the flavor out of it, like a Keurig or even to an extent a drip pot. A French press, using the coarse grounds, it lets you prolong which flavors you're pulling out. Now, there are 4 main flavor molecules, the 4th one being the bitter of the set. And so you're aiming to pull out the first 3 without getting to the last. Now, you ask anybody, they'll always tell you at least 4 minutes for a French press. I sometimes like to go closer to 4.5, 5. If you like that stouter cup, if you're looking more for the, puts hairs on your chest like me because I'm Italian, or, stand your spoon up in it, or even stick your spoon in and watch it corrode. Let it go. It's about 4.5, 5 minutes. Give it that time to set. Now, what I'm fancily doing here is just glancing over at the clock because I didn't feel like setting a timer. So instead, I'm just watching the time while I check out y'all's comments. So I'm going to give it about 5 minutes, and you can kind of see just this. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. But you got this nice action of, you got a little bit of, you get just nice foam action on the top. You've got all your grounds all just kind of dispersed in there, and you can watch the color change in the coffee. Now, I'm using El Salvadorian. That's your medium light, so this cup shouldn't get all that dark, which would be why when I hold it up, you see something a little more light brown. But here's the problem with all of this. So if you look, you've got a fine mesh here, and that allows for the water to pass through even as you're pressing the grounds down to the bottom, allows the water to pass through, and even though the grounds are on bottom, everything is still touching the grounds. So your coffee that is already coffee when you finish, if you leave it sitting in a French press, it's going to oversteep. And now yes, it's a very fine mesh. It's not like it's steeping and getting that overly stout, kind of bitter from sitting so long. It's not like it's getting that in a matter of 30 seconds. Oh, you missed it, dump it and start over. It's just not everybody finishes their French press coffee at once. Why? Because you have near boiling water, and so you get coffee that's near boiling. It's for a lot of people just too hot to drink, which I know y'all laugh because I just scald my mouth and I never say it's too hot. I know many someones who will fight me on that point of what is not too hot for coffee. But the fact of the matter is, it is, in all seriousness, very hot. And so you can't drink it all at once. And if you leave it sitting in a French press, you run the risk of oversteeping. I'm going to go ahead in a minute and press this. But while I'm getting ready to do that, here's where I bring in our partners for the day. Planetary Design. Now, why do I bring them in here? Because the main thing I want to discuss with y'all is the French presses that we take. I say for travel, but even just for stay at home. Their French presses they're just built different, as you would say. So we're going to go ahead and break this one apart right after I press this down and let y'all know why. However, for anyone out there who's watching, maybe you've heard this spiel before, go ahead and if you want to, spoiler alert, we're going to have spoilers, but if anyone wants to go ahead and drop in the comments why these mugs are so different, then feel free, because I will just yay or nay you, and then we'll explain it anyway. Man, I tell you, real quick word on this, the El Salvadorian, there's a deep note of cocoa powder in it that kind of separates it from what our Brazilian was at the same roast level, and it just that's why I'm doing this today, because I haven't gotten a French press this one yet, and I think it's going to be something pretty deep just because of the flavor you draw out. So let's find out. Yeah, so you get that cocoa powder. It really tastes like there's cocoa powder, like the flavor is like there's cocoa powder in it, which to me is just wonderful. I love getting all just those crazy different flavor notes. Yeah, there you go. Can remove the ground so you don't oversteep. That's a good guess, Nick, about removing the grounds. And yes, Princess Magpul, you will fight me on that. That it's too hot. But you're close, Nick. Not quite removing, but you are actually placing a barrier in the way. So what Planetary Design does through these Brew Trek mugs that they have, it's what they call it's brew stop technology. Fancy names. All it means is same mesh filter, but on the back you have a backing plate. It's stainless steel. It's real thin and it flexes. And what that does, and the reason this is so much better for a travel mug, is when you're at home you can just pour it out in the French press. But with these mugs specifically, when you plunge, the pressure forces that plate to flex up, allowing water to pass through and while you're pressing your grounds. So you press the grounds down, your now coffee can pass back up through the top, but then when you stop plunging, the plate snaps back shut, isolating the grounds on the bottom from the coffee on top. Your silicone seal here is a perfect barrier to make sure that nothing goes either way. Grounds don't pop up the side, no coffee gets tracked back down. You press the grounds down, the coffee stays up. When you stop plunging, it walls it off. Now, I was skeptical, and actually when we first spoke with Planetary Design, I had told him, I just gotta honestly express my general skepticism overall, just for, different coffee things, because everybody gets a name, and William is the guy I work with out there, and he told me, he's like, hey, just let me send you a couple things, you just go ahead and try them, and I'm telling you, you're going to see the difference. I've talked about how much I love their bean storage systems, their canisters, the special pressing lids that we use. These French presses are no different. They are just beefy, they are solid, and I think the 16 ounce is honestly my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, this wonderful beefy handle. I should probably go back and explain. We've got 3 different sizes of them, and so that's what we'll be breaking down for y'all today. This big honking one. Love that one. So the 16 ounce, now again, they all have the same brew stop technology, so you get the backing plate in there to keep the grounds isolated. So between that and being a double stainless steel mug, it's your vacuum insulated, you got coffee that's hot for hours. Yeah, you typically, after you make it, you're waiting a little while before you can drink it, but it's staying hot all day. You're able to bring this thing around. You get a full 16 ounce French press on the go that doesn't oversteep, that stays hot, and a mug that you could defend yourself with. We right to bear arms. That includes your coffee mug, and that's really why you should have these. No, it's because of the quality. That's just a nice perk. On top of that, with the 16 ounce, so they each have different features alongside that brew stop technology. Your 16 ounce, I broke it! No, I didn't. It comes off on the bottom. And this is the same kind of bean storage system that we have with those lids that I've shown you before, with the depressed seal. That's how we store them in the buckets. This is the same kind of seal that you've just got a little handle. You've got your filters here that allow for CO2 and oxygen to come out one way, but you're not worrying about any getting back in, so you're not ending up with stale coffee. What does this mean? You wake up in the morning, you do what I just did, you're with your normal French press, you do your 5 minutes, you do all that, you put your top back on, like so, you plunge, like so, and you've even got your spout top so you can drink. Don't dump it sideways while it's got hot coffee in it. But while you're out, you can also bring a second cup with you. I've taken road trips, I've just been out for a while during the day, and I've even left coffee in these for months at a time. I can tell you they keep your coffee fresh. And so that's probably my favorite thing with these. When William over at Planetary Design said I would understand after trying it, honestly, I understood after trying it. It makes a lot of sense. You pay about $40 for the mug, and again, not only is the technology great, all the features are great, but they warranty the parts. So if something happens, they will work with you to get things fixed separately between the handle and the body. If you don't believe that, come in and ask. We can show you a couple people, including ourselves, who've had lids snap, handles break, and we get them refunded. All right, so there is the 16 ounce. As I almost knock everything over. 24 ounce is a little more simple. It's really just a nice size one. You've got they all have a nice rubber bottom. This one's just a bit more hefty. The nice thing here, kind of like what you were saying, Nick, about being able to get rid of the grounds, not during, but once you're done, the bottom actually comes off. All your grounds are trapped in the bottom. You just dump that. That's exactly where your French press stops. And then you just rinse, wash, rinse, repeat, however that thing goes. Just keep repeating until you've drank enough coffee. So basically till your life is done. Now, a 48 ounce French press. That's not something I've ever really seen before. And not one of this size either. Now, for any of y'all who have bought our little, the Misfit Militia coffee mugs with our emblem engraved, this is the partner to that. So again, here's your exact same setup. You've got the stem, you've got your drink or pour lid right there. Let me go ahead and get myself situated. Alright, so you still got your backing plate in there. Still got your nice big filter. Got your pour spout. And then with those little, the 8 ounce cups that we have, even with the 12 ounce tumblers that we have, even with the other bigger cups, you've got 48 ounces of pure caffeinated goodness juice in here. So you can do whatever you need to do with that. And the bottom doesn't come off or anything, but that's because it's meant to, it's called the base camp, and it's called that for a reason. You can take this thing and go anywhere. 48 ounces of coffee. For me, that lasts about 3 hours. For a lot of y'all, that lasts about a day. Whether you're like me or not, there's still plenty in here. And if you really decide to, just drink it right out here. You're good to go. That's how I prefer it. So we really give props to Planetary Design for this. They've got something different with just all their products. They stand behind them. They warranty them. They really think out what they're doing. And don't get me wrong, I've always loved the traditional French press. It's just, these are just something a little bit different. So we've got these all for sale here at Misfit HQ. I love saying that. Taking a look back at y'all and keep the brewed coffee hot practically all day. Yeah, so Phil's used them too. And I know because I've spoken with him many times about it. Him and his family love them. They've got them stashed everywhere just because they work so well. If you're going camping, if you just want to go drive around, who doesn't want the better quality coffee brewed with the higher quality method out on the go? I've often heard French press referred to as like the dummy's guide to smart brewing of sorts, because it's really easy to do, especially since we'll grind you your coarse grind if you just ask us for French press grind. That's strictly in Misfit HQ that will supply that, but you come in and ask and we'll do that. Once you get that, it's just hot water, pour the grounds in. You don't have to do the whole pour over thing like I did. I just like to do some extra bells and whistles. But it gives proper flavor regardless. I've done it half awake on a road trip trying to get from one place to another and just dumped semi-hot water in there and it's worked. Thank you for that, Phil. That they really do. Planetary Design, again, has an amazing replacement warranty program for their parts. So if you're all looking to get one, you make the investment, you pay. You'll be paying for getting these. It's going to be anywhere between $40 and $70 for a quality stainless steel vacuum insulated French press mug, and you'll be able to understand what the big deal is about French press mugs. So with that, I'm taking another sip of coffee. And then with that, I want to go back to Nick's question before we wrap this thing up, because we're getting to about that time. So the question about future mugs. So I don't know how many of y'all have been able to pick up one of these. These are, again, from Planetary Design, the Ethos mugs that they sell. So for those of you who have picked up our smaller 8-ounce laser engraved cups, we're looking to get a batch of these in. So if you think you're interested, go ahead and let us know now. Drop it in the comments. Shoot us a message. We'll mark you down, and we'll set one aside for you. Because we're going to do a limited run at first. And if there's a big enough demand, then we'll keep that going. We may even, if you go ahead and let us know beforehand, say you want it, we may even throw a little surprise or two inside there for you. Can't confirm or deny. I'm just saying that there's a decent chance that maybe. So with that, I mean we've talked a lot about Planetary Design and all their mugs. We've had some nice French press coffee. Real quick, if whether you're watching this later or right now, if you're drinking some of our coffee while you're watching now or at any point during these lives, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Just let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what your preference is, why you like it. If you think my choice of brew for the day was a bad one, I'll be surprised, but you tell me why, and we can discuss it. Now, but let us know what you think. Let us know what brews you're enjoying. Let us know if there's origins that you're excited to try. If there's ones that you think you'd want to try that we haven't mentioned yet. Just leave all that here, and we'll hit it all in the Misfit Monday debrief. But until then, we've talked about our Planetary Design mugs. I can't stress enough wanting to support Friends of the NRA. So please, if you have not come and purchased a ticket yet, or if you even just want to make some kind of donation to the organization, please come on out and grab one of these. Come see us on Saturday. Come see us during the week. Don't forget about our Misfit businesses that support us. You can find a list of them on our webpage, www.misfit-militia.com, or just misfitmilitia.coffee.com. That was a tongue twister for no reason. Go look up our Misfit businesses page. Just show all of them, all these businesses that are supporting us, show them your support for supporting us. Even if you don't typically shop there. Again, it's all about dealing local. That's why our run of businesses is they are true small local businesses. So go ahead and give them a shout, give them a support. Come see us in person on Saturday, wherever you may find us. Come see us out at the coffee cart. That's the last thing. Don't forget about the coffee cart. We are still out even as it's getting colder, from about 6 to 9 in the morning. If we're ever not out front, we'll have it posted. We'll be here in the back. So with all that being said, thank y'all for joining us this afternoon. Looking forward to bringing y'all more of these. Looking forward to bringing y'all more origins and just generally having fun and reading all the banter that goes back and forth in here. I'm loving seeing it. Guatemala, vote for Guatemalan, Dark Forever. I'm going to assume that's Sulawesi, just based on who it is and when you buy it. Which I will say, you got me there. Guatemalan, Sulawesi, those are both for different reasons my tops. Guatemalan was one of my favorites to start with. Sulawesi's just won my heart just out of nowhere. But again, this has been fun. We're looking forward to doing it more. Don't forget to come out and see us. Don't forget to just keep being a misfit. Stand. As we stand firm in our faith. We stand firm in the Constitution, which outlines the rights that God has given us already. So never forget, you're not alone in that stance. You've got us here. And if you ever feel like you are alone, come get yourself a cup of coffee. We got you covered. Until then, fellow misfits, stay safe, stay free, and stay caffeinated.